School. I'm Nikki and today I'm going to be going over the choreography for Dumhdurum by Apink. If you haven't already, it would really mean a lot to me if you could give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and click that beautiful bell icon. For this tutorial, I primarily followed bomi, and don't worry, this video is mirrored so you can follow along as is. And with that, let's get started. I want to start off by saying that there is good news in that the motions in this dance aren't particularly difficult. However, there is some less good news in that in the chorus, and especially in the beginning of the chorus, some of the motions are very fast. But we'll go over them one at a time and build up slowly. The first few counts of the chorus that we're going to learn look like this. 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and. Alright, let's break that down. So we start in this position here, where our weight is primarily on our left side. Our left arm is sort of against our waist, and our right arm is crossed in front of our chest like this. Your palm should be open and facing the front of the room. Our first motion is on the 6 count, and it's simply closing your hand and then opening it back up again. So that's 6 and. Then on the 7 and, you're going to shift your weight over to your right side and flick your wrist down quickly. So that's 7. At the same time, when you shift your weight, you want to slightly bend your left knee. And when you flick your wrist, it's just a very quick motion. On the 8 and count, we're going to shift our weight back over to the right side, and at the same time, you're going to twirl your wrists down and around towards each other, and then up towards your head like this. So it sort of looks like a crown. When you hit this position, again, make sure your weight is on your left side again, and your palms should be facing the sides of the room. Make sure they're not facing towards each other, because that's going to be the next move that we do. So after we hit this position on 8, on 1, we're going to, like I said, twist our wrists in so that our palms are now facing each other, and at the same time, we're going to slightly bend our left leg and twist it in slightly so that it should be kind of pointing to the right front corner of the room, and then just bring it back out again. So it's like that. At the same time that you bend and swing your knee in towards the right, you're also going to rotate your body slightly. So it should almost be like your upper body is following your left knee. So just that motion put together looks like this. Let's just quickly review those few motions that we've learned, because they are actually repeated several times throughout the chorus, so it's a good idea to make sure you're familiar with them before moving on. So from the beginning, we have 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 1. Let's move on. After you hit this position on 1, your next motion isn't until the 3 count, and that looks like this. So you're going to bring your arms down and sort of circle around your hips, and then at the same time you're going to slightly bend your legs and swoop your hips towards the right side. Then on 4, you're going to step slightly in with your left foot. You shouldn't step all the way together, but slightly in, maybe halfway between where your feet were previously, and at the same time bring your arms together and down in front of your body like this. So this is 4. On 4 and, we're going to cross our right leg in front of our left leg and make this position with our arms. So your right arm should be crossed in front of your chest and shoulders, so that the back of your right hand should almost be touching the left side of your face. Your left arm kind of looks like you're pointing at your left hip, like this. Your forearm should kind of be parallel. Next, on 5, you're going to keep your forearms parallel, but it's going to look like your left hand is like poking your right elbow, so it pushes it up. So sort of like this. So you're keeping your forearms pretty much parallel. So that's on 5. Next, on 6, you're going to leave your right arm where it is, but bring your left hand down so it's resting on your left, on the front of your left hip. And at the same time, tap your left foot out towards the side. After this, on 6, the next few half counts, 4, for just your legs, look like this. So you're stepping in with your left foot, then stepping back out with your right foot. And that's on and 7. So now for your hand motions for that section, on the and count, when you step in with your left foot, your arms don't change, but on 7, when you step out with your right foot, you want to bring your hands together. It's sort of like a praying position, except your body is slightly rotated to the left, and your hands are pointed down, not up like this. So this is on 7, then on and, you're going to rotate your hands up. So that's 7 and. If you want to pay a bit more attention to the details, your weight at this point on 7 and should still primarily be on your left leg. So that's 7 and. Finally, on 8 and, we're just going to flick our right hand out twice towards the side like this and shift our weight more onto our right side. So that's 8 and. Now I know you may be thinking that that seemed like a lot of really quick and small motions in very few counts. But don't worry, I can reassure you that, at least in my opinion, this is actually the most complicated section of the chorus, and it took me a long time to fully understand what was going on. So we're going to go over everything that we've learned again, slowly, and make sure we're familiar with it. From the beginning, very, very, very slowly with counts, we have 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and. All right, one more time. 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and. Please feel free to go back and rewatch this section as many times as you need. As I said, I think that this was the most complicated part of the chorus for me, and it took me rewatching this part of the dance many, many, many times before I felt comfortable with it. With that being said, let's try it with 75% speed music and then full speed music. You got this. The next section that we're going to learn looks like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. So starting from where we left off on 8 and, on 1, you're going to bring your right leg in to meet your left leg and swing your arms around so it hits this position here. So when you swing your arms, your right arm should go down and around, and your left arm should go up and around so that they meet sort of in the middle, parallel with the floor. Once you hit this position, your right fingers should be pointing up towards the ceiling, and your left should be pointing down towards the ground. So if you were to separate your arms, your right would be pointed up, your left would be pointed down, and you're just putting them together like this. So that's 1. Next on 2, we're simply going to switch the position so that now your right fingers are pointing down and your left is pointing up. On 3 and 4, you're going to bring your left arm towards your waist and tap your left leg out to the side again and just shake your right hand sort of like in a gun hand position and shake it 3 times on 3 and 4. I do want to say that since I followed Bomi for this tutorial, she was the only one who was doing this hand position because she was in the center, and the rest of the members did 3 and 4. So you can pick whichever one you want to do, but for the sake of this tutorial, whenever we do the dance, I'll be doing what Bomi did. So after 3 and 4, on 5, you're going to step on your left leg and sort of bring your right hand in so that it's sort of facing towards your face. And then on 6, you're going to step on your right and flip twice with your right hand. So the next few counts after 3 and 4 are like so. 3 and 4, 5, 6 and 7 and 8 and 1. So the last few counts of that should look familiar. As I said, we do repeat those few steps in the chorus several times. So that's the second time that we're doing those few motions. So let's just do this section starting here with counts before moving on. So we have 8 and 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6 and 7 and 8 and 1. After our second 7 and 8 and 1, again our next motion isn't until the 3 count, and the next few counts look like this. 3 and 4 and 5. So, just your arm motions. You're going to cross your arms in front of your face, then open out, then swing them down towards the sides and up towards the center, around, and then hit this low V position here. While you're doing those arm motions on 3 and, your body is slightly tilted towards the left, so that's 3 and, then on 4 and, your body is slightly tilted towards the right, so that's 3 and, 4 and. And on the and, as you can see, we're going to hinge at our hips and bend over. At the same time, you want to slightly bend your left leg, just slightly, and keep your right leg straight. So that's 3 and 4 and 5. So as you can see on 5, we come back up again. It's great if you want to add a slight little body roll when you're coming up, or I mainly focus on really trying to like whip my hair up, and that helps me add a bit more style to the motion. So after we come up on 5, on 7 and 8, we're just going to go 7, 8. So your left foot should come in at the same time that your left hand sort of swipes across your forehead on 7, and then you step in with your right and swipe your right arm across your forehead on 8. When you do this, if you want to pay attention more towards the details, your legs should be slightly bent, and when you step with your left leg on 7, you kind of want to try to bring your left hip towards the front and up. And same thing when you're stepping with your right foot, you want to bring your right hip front and up. Sort of like you're tracing a infinity sign or 8 with your hips, like this. So we have 7, 8. Let's just go over this section with counts, and then we'll take it all the way back to the beginning of the chorus and do it with 75% speed music and full speed music. Alright, so this section starts on 1. We have 8 and 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6 and 7 and 8 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8. The next section that we're going to learn looks like this. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so the last section ended on 7, 8. So on 1, we're going to step out to the left side and swoop our hips down and towards the left. At the same time, we're going to circle our hands around our hips, just like we've done a similar motion towards the right previously. So we have 1, then on 2, you're going to go like this so that your weight is now back on your right side and your left knee should be slightly bent, and your left arm comes up so that it's so that your elbow is out to the side and up, and your hand is sort of in front of your chest. After this, on and 3, you're going to step together with your left and then back out with your right. So that's and 3. And we've done a very similar motion previously in the chorus. While you're doing that, when you step in with your left foot on the and, your arms don't change, but on 3, when you step out with your right, you're going to bring your right arm up so that it's in the back of your head like this. That's on 3. Then on 3 and, you're going to sort of switch your arms around. So your right arm is going to come in front of your face, and your left arm is going to go to the back of your head. So that's on and, then on 4, you're just going to bring your left arm back up and around so that it's in the front of your face again. So just those few motions look like this. 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. One more time. 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. All right, moving on. So after this, on 4, on 5, you're going to circle your hands around your face and then back around to the front and shift your weight so that it's more on your right. At the same time, if you want to add a very, very, very slight body roll, that can add some style to this move as well. Then on 6, you're just going to sort of like pop your chest a bit like that. Pretty small and quick motion. So 5, 6, then on 7, 8, the members of Apink are pretty much just walking to the next position. So we're just going to step together on 7, 8. The next few motions are pretty repetitive. On 1, we're going to circle our left arm around like this. So you want to, while you're doing this, you want to make sure your elbow is relatively high. Make sure you're not doing this with your elbow down here. You want to have it up high so it's almost parallel with the ground. And your palm should be facing the front of the room. So that's 1, and at the same time, you're going to step back with your left foot, a little bit wider than shoulder width apart maybe. When you plant your feet, make sure your knees are slightly bent. Next, on 2, we're going to circle both of our arms this time around like this. So it's going down and up towards the front, and then back down near our chest. While you're doing this, again, make sure that when you plant your feet from the previous move, your legs are bent, so that when you do this, you can sort of do like a little body roll and then pop your chest forward and down like that. After this motion on 2, we're basically going to do this motion again, except you're doing it on the right side. So you're bringing your right arm up and around and stepping back with your right foot, so it's 3, and then again this on 4. I will say this motion probably looks a lot better and less awkward when you do it 2 tempo. The rest of this 8 count looks like this. 5, 6, 7, 8. So with our arms, we're going to circle sort of like a snake. I think of my arm sort of moving like a snake. It's going to go across your stomach and then up sort of like across your shoulder area and then towards the back of your head and then back down around. So like this. And while you're doing that, your legs are going to basically just do a step tap motion like this. So it's on every count, you're going to be stepping, and then on every half count on the and is a tap. So it's like 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and. Your legs should be decently far apart, probably just slightly wider than shoulder width apart. And make sure that your legs are slightly bent while you're doing this. So this looks like 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and. Something that helps me make this move feel more natural is if I really try to angle my body towards the foot that I'm stepping on. So on 5, when I'm stepping on my left foot, my body is slightly angled towards the left, and then I tap. Then on 6, when I'm stepping on my right foot, my body is slightly angled towards the right. So it's not like a board. You sort of want to follow your body like this. Just like I mentioned, the arm motions are sort of like a snake. You kind of want to think about that same motion in your body as well. All right, once again, let's just go over this section with counts, starting from 1, 2. We have 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and. One more time. 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and. The next section of the dance is actually the last part of the chorus, so congratulations, you guys are almost done. And the next section looks like this. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 and 1, 2. The first 8 counts that I just did, the 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. You can learn with counts, however, I found it much easier to learn according to the song. So at this point in the song, you'll hear one of the members sing blah 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 yeah. So that's the beat to which we're doing these motions. So it's blah 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 yeah. Like I said, I find it much easier to time these motions to that once you identify that in the song. However, for those of us who do want to learn with counts, I'll go over that now. So the first motion of this section is on the and to count. So on the and, you're going to bring sort of like your right arm forward. This motion doesn't have to be too specific. The main thing is that on 2, you're going to bring your right arm up like this. If you want to get into the details a bit more, your left knee should be slightly bent. So that's 1 and 2. Then on 3 and 4, on the and count, you're going to hit this position here. So your right arm should sort of be on your right knee. And your right leg should be slightly bent while your left leg is now straight. And your body should sort of be rotated towards the left a bit. So that's 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Then on 5, we're going to hit this position here so that our left arm is up here. Most of our weight should be on our left side. Our right knee should be slightly bent, and our right hand is on our chest here. Then on 6, we're just going to tap our chest with our right hand twice. So that's and 6. So we have 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, then on 7, 8, we just step together on 7 and 8. So moving on, the next 4 counts look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our legs are basically just going to be stepping left, right. On 1, 2, 3, and 4, they should be spread pretty far apart. Your legs should be bent the entire time, and this is a pretty similar motion to this snake move that we were doing earlier. Again, you want to move your upper body sort of like in the direction that you're stepping. And at the same time, our arms on 1 are going to come together in like a low praying position near our belly button. On 2, they're going to tap like our shoulder or chest area. On 3, they're going to come back into like a praying position, but higher than before, so sort of around shoulder level. And then on 4, you're going to bring your hands on top of your head, sort of like a crown, and this time your palms should be facing each other. So once again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then on 5, you're going to bring your left leg in, so meet your right leg, and sort of pop your knees apart, so 5. And at the same time, on 5, you're going to swing your arms down so that they end up slightly behind your body like this. So that's 5, then on and, you bring your knees back together, and on 6, you want to slightly straighten your legs again and bring your hands again into a praying position up here. So that's 5 and 6, then on 7 and 8, your arms are just going to look like this, 7 and 8. So it's sort of like you're telling someone to come over to you and calling them over with your hand, and you're doing that on left, right, left. At the same time, on 7, with your right leg, you're going to pop your right leg out and then step back in. Then on and, you're just going to sort of shift your weight back onto your left and pop your right knee out. And then on 8, you're going to do the same thing and shift your weight back onto your right while popping your left knee out. It's a pretty quick and small motion, but it just looks like 7 and 8. After 7 and 8, the next few motions look like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 and 1, 2. So on 1, we're going to step out so that our left foot taps to the side. Our left hand is going to sort of rest on our waist. And then at the same time, on 1 and 2, you're going to bring your right hand and tap it to your forehead, your right shoulder, and then left shoulder. So that's 1 and 2. On and, you're going to tap the center of your chest while bringing your left foot in together. So that's 1 and 2 and. On 3 and 4, you're going to tap your right foot out to the side and bring your hand up so that it's like this. It's sort of like you're yelling to someone, except it's just your right hand. Your palm should be facing the front of the room. So that's 3. Then on 4, we're going to bring our right leg in again and make this position with our right hand so that it's like we're trying to tell someone to be quiet or shush them. So that's 3, 4. On 5, 6, we're just going to step twice. 5, 6. Then on 7 and 8 and. It's that very familiar motion by now that we've done. So 7 and 8 and. And then on 1, instead of doing this, we are going to turn our body to the right, but we're not going to bring it back to the center again. So it's on 1, and then on 2, we're just going to bend over like this and hinge at our waist, or hinge at our hips, so that our right leg is straight, left leg is bent, like this, and that's on 2. So all together from 7 and 8, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 and 1, 2. Congratulations, you guys have learned the entire chorus of Dumhdurum by Apink. So now let's just go back all the way to the beginning and do what we've learned with counts, 75% speed music, and then full speed music. We have 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 and 1, 2. Alright guys, that's the end of this tutorial. I truly hope this video was helpful for you and that you enjoyed learning this dance with me. Please leave a comment down below what you guys thought of this video and if there is anything you think I can do in the future to make my videos easier or more fun to follow. And with that, I truly hope you all are staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!